Good morning.
Morning.
I'm Greg Johnson, a member of the Board of Pardons and Parole. And are you Clint Carlisle?
I am, yes.
Okay, offender number 235568.
Yes.
Okay. Today is set for your original hearing. So there's some legal things that we need to talk through, the offenses that brought you here, how you've been doing in prison since then, and maybe what's next for you.
Okay.
Okay, so if you have questions as we go along, feel free to ask.
All right. Yeah.
Okay. Let's get you sworn in. Would you raise your right hand, please? Do you swear to tell the truth and be accurate in today's proceeding?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. You can put your hand down. Did you receive at least 7 days' notice of this hearing?
Yes.
And did you receive your disclosure, your blue packet?
Yes.
Okay. Do you have any questions or concerns about your disclosure?
I don't know.
Okay. Does it look accurate?
Yes.
And I received late the SOT assessment,
SOT?
sexual offending.
Okay.
Did you receive that?
I don't think so. I don't
Okay.
remember seeing that.
All right. Do you remember doing the assessment?
I don't.
You don't remember that?
I don't.
Okay. So you don't remember meeting with a therapist to talk about that?
It could have been like when I first got in, but I don't, that was for SOTP.
Yeah, that's the one.
That was it. Okay.
That's the one.
Yeah, I did that when I was in Arno, when I first got in.
Okay. Did they talk to you about recommendations or how SOTP works?
I believe so. I got a paper after that saying that I was approved to do the program just whenever a spot fills
Right.
up. That's all I got.
Okay. It was about 2 paragraphs like that?
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay. Yeah, that's the first one. And then they did a second one that still says the same thing. It still says average risk and recommends that you participate in the program, but it was longer. So you haven't received the longer one. Okay. Yeah, I only got it yesterday.
Okay.
So I'm sure you'll get a copy of that soon.
Okay.
But for the purpose of this hearing, you have the right to review all of that and to respond, and you haven't even received it. So it's your choice. Do you want to continue with this hearing, or do you want to have another hearing where you have a chance to review that?
I'll just continue.
Okay. And you can still, after you receive that, you can still send in a response to us if you feel like you need to.
Okay.
Okay. So we'll go ahead and continue, and maybe at the end, I'll come back and ask you if you felt like we covered everything, or if you need additional time. We can give you additional time or do another hearing if you decide that that's what you want.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So you're here for quite a few first-degree felonies. They carry a sentence of 15 years to life. One of them is consecutive. So essentially, your sentence is 30 years to life. Okay. The 30-year date would be June of 2047. Okay, that sounds right? Okay. And the board can release you at any point during that range. To do that, we start with a sentencing guideline, which in your case is 365 months, which would be November of 2047. Okay, so that would be just about 5 months over 30 years is your guideline. Okay. Now, the board can go, as I said, go above or below the guideline, but it depends on whether we find aggravating or mitigating factors. Mitigating factors can be good behavior, completing programming like SOTP, things like that. Aggravating can be poor behavior, disciplinary write-ups, things like that. So the case number is 171402126. And they're all attempted sodomy on a child or aggravated sexual abuse of a child or attempted rape of a child. It all kind of stems from the same situation. Tell me a little bit about, what was going on, or how you found yourself committing those offenses.
I was addicted to porn. I was watching porn a lot, and
Okay.
this over time it got worse and worse. And then I thought what I was doing was okay. It wasn't hurting nobody,
Mhm.
and that's where it led up to was what I did.
Okay. And how old was the victim? How old?
I think six it was.
Okay. And I mean, you said the phrase "not hurting anybody," or at least that's what you're thinking. At what point did you realize it was hurting people?
Um, it was probably when I got arrested, like
Mhm.
thinking through that and what happened. I like betrayed everybody's trust in me. Like I just hurt too many people. Like once, like I was in jail and stuff like that.
Okay. All right. I mean, this is a public hearing, so I don't think we need to go through all the details of those offenses. But did you read the pre-sentence report?
I did.
Is that accurate?
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else that you want us to know about those offenses? Okay. So, I mean, as far as we're aware, there was no restitution. There wasn't any ordered by the court. There wasn't a claim with UOVC. Are you aware of any restitution?
No, no.
Okay.
I know like this with being divorced. I don't know if that matters, but I got divorced and have to pay, I guess, child support or something,
Okay.
which is being taken out of my little checks that I get.
Okay. I mean, I'll note that, but that's not restitution. Okay. We don't collect restitution, but we usually make notes on our order just to kind of document, and it'll probably say that no restitution has been claimed that we're aware of.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's move ahead. The victim's mother wrote a letter. Did you read that?
Yes, I got it today.
Okay. What's your response to that?
Um, like I said before, like I know I hurt when I got arrested. Then when I read that letter, I didn't realize how bad it was, how I affected them both and everybody else connected to it.
Okay. If she were here, what would you say to her?
Just apologize. I didn't want to. I shouldn't have done that. I shouldn't have acted like that. I shouldn't have betrayed, like I said, her trust in me, and then everybody else, my ex-wife, everybody. I just betrayed their trust and took advantage of that. I was talking to us, apologize. Just want to. Yeah, I'm sorry for what I did.
Okay. All right. So, moving forward to your time in prison, we already talked about a couple assessments that found you to be average risk and recommended SOTP. Also, there's a case action plan that's put together with your case manager. Do you remember doing that?
With
Your case manager?
many of them, yes.
Yeah. Okay. And they talked about some other classes, which you have done other classes, but tell me about those other classes they recommended.
I know when I first got in, I asked to get into programs, and I was sent to Kane County to do a focus program.
Mhm.
I wasn't able to complete it. I got sent back to Draper for medical hearing issues.
Mhm.
I wanted to complete it, but I didn't get a chance to. But I tried to sign up for as many programs and little classes I could,
Mhm.
anger management, thinking for a change and stuff. I know that was on my cap before, thinking for a change. One of the case managers did remove it because she said I should do that later,
Mhm.
after everything, nearer, closer to the time I have a date or
Mhm.
to my uh, camping.
Your hearing?
Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
yeah.
yes.
Yeah, usually, like with SOTP, therapeutically, they say that it should be done closer to your date, that it's more effective that way. So I understand that. Some of the other classes, though, can still benefit you now. I mean, you're still living, you're behind the wire, but it is a community, and you're
Yeah.
still living in a community.
I've, like I said, I signed up as many as I could, and it got to a point where the ones I did sign up for, I got bumped off because they said my points were too low
Okay.
and other people needed it more than I did. But I kept signing up for it to try to get at least some classes. And like now it's the same thing. Like I can sign up for it, but I get bumped.
Yeah. And part of that too, there's a risk assessment called the LSR&R. Do you remember doing this?
Yes.
Okay. Did they go over that with you?
Yes.
Okay. So you're low risk in many areas. In fact, I think it was all except companions. And companions, when you're living in prison, pretty much everybody you know has been convicted of a felony.
Yes.
But all the other areas were low. And actually the overall score of 8 is low points.
Yes.
So basically that says you've got a lot of things going for you. I mean, the sexual risk needs to be addressed, but in other areas, you actually are doing pretty well. But again, my recommendation would be take the classes that you can. I understand they're not going to let you into all of them, but they can still benefit you now as you are living with people, you're getting along with people, and eventually maybe in the outside community too. As far as I do have several successful completions. I have all the classes that you mentioned. Was there part of that that stood out to you that you found helpful?
Yeah, like I mentioned, the focus program in Kane, that really helped me a lot to work through things and to realize
Mhm.
stuff that I need to change and help with.
Okay.
And I just wish I was able to finish it.
Okay. How's your mental health?
It's fine, I believe.
Are you doing anything particular that helps, or it's just fun?
I think with taking some of those classes and especially that program I mentioned, it helped me work through a lot, like I said, a lot of stuff.
Mhm.
And even some of the books I needed to read during that program helped a lot, make me get everything in perspective and
Okay.
just work stuff out that I needed to and that I need to later on.
Okay. All right. And then we had the report from housing. You don't have any disciplinary write-ups, which is good. Sometimes that can be hard, though. Tell me about how you maintain that good behavior.
I just try to like not like segregate myself or like seclude myself in my cell or just wherever. Just I try to be as friendly as I can with people around me and keeping everything that I needed to keep away so I won't get in trouble
Okay.
as far as I can.
Yeah.
And then just some of the people I meet, I try to stay with them, but I know that they're doing good, so I can just be in that group.
Okay.
Really helped.
And then you've had some employment opportunity.
Yes,
How's that gone?
very well. I started with like an ADA, helping somebody in my cell, and then I eventually got other jobs on the tier or the block I was on, and then eventually the one that I have now in the library, working at the library. I've been there for, I think, over 3 years now. And I enjoy it a lot. It's
Okay.
helpful to get out of the section and helping the people there, the other inmates coming in, the patrons,
Mhm.
and chance to read the books and stuff like that. I really enjoy it.
Okay, good. Glad to hear that. Well, so let me summarize where we are. As far as your time in prison, it's gone well. You don't have disciplinary issues. You have good recommendations. I think you've engaged in as much positive things as you can as far as employment, as far as the classes that are available. I know it's been limited for you, but it seems like you've done your best to do what you can. The sentence and the crimes that you're here for, it's significant. Again, it's 30-year minimum. The guidelines just barely over that. As far as what the board will probably want to see is completing SOTP. And the timing for that probably will be close to your next hearing. If they talk to you about it, it's usually 18 months, 2 years that you're in the program. Okay. Do you have questions for me?
I don't.
Okay. You might know how the board works, but we don't make a decision in the hearing. So it takes at least 3 of the 5 board members to vote for any decision. So I'll take this information back to them. We'll get a decision to you, send that to you in writing, probably in about a week and a half to 2 weeks. It's posted on the web too. I'm saying that because there may be family or others that are listening online, that they'll be able to find that on the website when we make the decision. Okay. Is there anything that we haven't covered that you think we need to know?
No, I don't think so. No.
Okay. And we talked about a couple late disclosure items. One, you haven't received that SOT assessment, and 2, the letter from the victim's mom, you just recently received. So you're certainly entitled to more time to review those and to give us a response. If you'd like me to hold the hearing or hold the decision, I could do that for a little while and give you a chance to respond. Or if you don't want to, that's fine too.
Yeah, that's fine. I don't need extra time. That's okay.
Okay. All right. I'll go ahead and do that then. Any last words before we end?
I got none. Yeah, thank you for your time.
Okay. And again, I encourage you to keep up the good things that you're doing. Try to have a good attitude. And again, it seems like you've figured out some ways to stay out of trouble. And so keep doing that. Okay. Thank you. That concludes our hearing.
Thank you.